Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Trump, meet the press, and accuracy. Because Trump did that interview, and I watched it, so you didn't have to. While I was watching it, I thought it would be fun to just kind of keep track of the inaccuracies and just jot them down and fact check him later, that kind of thing. It wasn't fun. I was wrong about that. It wasn't fun at all because I couldn't keep up. No joke. The man lies faster than I can write. I'm not even joking. There are multiple fact checks floating around about different things that he said during this. So I'm going to go over the ones that I found interesting off of my list. But it's also important to remember that my list isn't complete because I couldn't keep up with how quickly he could just make stuff up. But here are the highlights of some of the things that he said. He brought out an old favorite that Pelosi was the one really responsible for January 6th because she was in charge of the security and she turned down 10,000 troops. Yeah, that's not true. The Speaker of the House is not in charge of security. That's the Capitol Police. That's who do that. I would point out, because maybe people don't know this, but the D.C. Police and the Capitol Police, that's two different things. There's a whole police department for the Capitol grounds. That's their job. It's not Pelosi. That's, once again, just something they threw out there in the aftermath of January 6th to deflect blame. And at this point, I don't know if he's still trying to do that or he has heard it so much he believes it's true. And I don't know which is worse. Another one was bacon. You would think if you were trying to become the President of the United States, you might have more important things to talk about and lie about than bacon. You'd be wrong, because apparently it's a high priority. He said that bacon was 5 times higher than when he was in office. That's not true. It's not true at all. It's gone up about 12%. 12%. Not 500%. 12%. I found that one entertaining. He made a whole bunch of comments about the border. The two that I found most entertaining was when he said that in 2019, those bad people, those people on the watch list, none of them tried to come across the border. No terrorists, none. Didn't happen. But this year, it's a record high. He specifically said 2019, which is entertaining. So this year, the number stands at 216. That's how many people on the watch list have been caught trying to come across the border. In 2019, it was 280. Not just did he not pick a year where there weren't any, he picked a year where it was actually kind of a high number. So again, he can't even get the stats right from his own time in office. He also said that millions were pouring across the border because of, Biden's open border and all of that stuff. And he seemed to indicate that he believed the final number by the end of the year would be 15 million. 15 million coming across the border. That is wild. That's almost unbelievable considering that number is higher than the estimated number of undocumented people in the United States. Like total. Not crossing the border. Like just altogether. Millions higher than that estimate, which I want to say it's like 11, maybe 12. Okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. But he seemed to indicate he believed there were going to be 15 million people that crossed this year. That is obviously wrong. Again, I don't know if maybe he's just making something up or he didn't understand what somebody had told him. And again, I don't know which is worse. Maybe he was thinking about the number of troops deployed during World War II or something. Okay, he referred to his indictments, the things that have led to him having almost 100 charges, 100 counts, as the Biden indictments, because, the Biden DOJ is out to get him, and that's who indicted him. No, a grand jury indicted him. I'm sorry, not a grand jury. Multiple different grand juries indicted him. Some of them not even linked to the Department of Justice. It's a deflection. It's his attempt to try to blame somebody else for it. Doesn't want people to acknowledge that those people who review this evidence believe he should be charged. Multiple grand juries. Some of them not DOJ, just to be clear. And then, of course, he drug out the ultimate inaccuracy, talking about the last election and how it was rigged and how they had the evidence and all of that stuff. Then why does he keep losing in court about it? To judges he appointed, people that might be sympathetic to him. And if he has this evidence, why hasn't he produced it? It seems like something he might want to tweet out at some point. But he hasn't, because it's not there. It's just something else he's using to try to convince those who are easily manipulated to still trust him. The Meet the Press thing was exactly what people expected. It was him getting up there and just saying whatever came to mind or whatever inaccurate talking point he developed. It was more the same. I would imagine that this is why he won't get on a debate stage now, because he's not who he used to be, and while he might be commanding on a debate stage, he can't debate and he can't remember the truth. So I would expect more of stuff like this from him, because he's not going to be able to handle anybody actually really pushing back on him. And that's where it is. Those people who truly supported him in 2016, they need to take a fresh look at him. Okay, set policy stuff aside for a minute. He's not the guy he used to be. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.